In this video, I am testing a 1-star Nintendo theme park on 3 categories. I've gathered a 1-star review for each of these categories to see if any of them are true. And as a Nintendo expert who is probably the oldest person in this theme park, I may have had a bit too much fun recording this.
Oh my, this is insane. There's so much going on. Yeah, this is kind of crazy.
But before we could enjoy anything, I was incredibly hungry. That's literally my stomach rumbling. It's definitely not a sound effect I added afterwards. But luckily for me, I've seen online that apparently the food here is pretty crazy. So that leads us to the first thing we're going to rate this park on. Food. John said I spent over $100 in the park and all of it was junk food. To find out if this was true, we first needed to head to the Donkey Kong area. Look at my face, look how blown away I am. We had funkies flying by for all your Donkey Kong merch and overpriced waters. Seriously, what is premium water? What makes it so premium? Where do they get premium water from? Why is it so? This is what we're really here for. The DK Crush Float with Mug Tropical Banana flavour. Yeah, it's got a really catchy name.
This is actually crazy. It's like as big as my head. I think it's keep the mug. So, you know, $22 well spent. Let's give this a go. I don't know how you drink this.
This DK ice cream was a banana soft served ice cream in a waffle cone that sat on top of a mug that had... Oh, I think Donkey Kong might have peed in my cup.
That is so good.
So after finishing my ice cream, I headed to the next snack place on the list, Yoshi's Snack Island. I ordered the red shell calzone and the apple and melon Yoshi smoothie. The red shell calzone was incredibly chewy and yeah, really not very nice. It kind of tasted like Play-Doh. Don't act like you've not eaten Play-Doh. We've all eaten Play-Doh. But the Yoshi milkshake more than made up for it. This thing tasted like they'd shoved a whole melon into this milkshake. That's a good thing, by the way. So with my belly nice and full of snacks, I wanted something a little bit more proper. So we headed to the only sit-down restaurant in the park, Toadstool's Cafe. And look how excited I am.
Nah, look at all the items up there. This is crazy, man. I've just never seen anything like this. Oh, look at them cooking our food. This is insane.
There were these windows all around the restaurant, and I mean, just look at these toads walking around. But where is he going? He should be in the kitchen making my food. Oh, there it is. Whoops.
This is insane. We have a literal mushroom pizza bowl, mushroom soup with little mushrooms in it. Even the garlic things have a little M for Mario on them. This is crazy. So in terms of food, it looked great. It wasn't actually that expensive. And when you can eat in places like this, yeah, I'm gonna have to give food a 5 out of 5. Nintendo World, you have surprised me.
And although the red shell calzone wasn't great, every single piece of food here was themed in some sort of really cool and creative way. So I think this review for food is false. So let's move on to the next thing we're gonna rate this theme park on, rides. But because I had literally just eaten, I decided to head over to apparently the chillest ride in the park, Yoshi's Adventure. Jenny said we left this land disappointed. All 3 rides were a 2-hour wait, including Yoshi. And not to mention, once you got on it, it was slow and boring. This is sad because I love Yoshi. I bet he'd be a really chill guy. What a weird way to end a review. So I headed in, and this is where I got a real taste of what this theme park was like. And maybe the review was right, the line is very long. Yeah, we'll have to see if the line is worth it. Eventually we got to the front of the line, I sat in my Yoshi, and...
Look at this.
This Yoshi ride was a nice sightseeing train with great views of the park, a bunch of Mario animatronics, and a load of references to the Mario games. And I was really enjoying it. I was happy. But this happiness would not last, as I had a big problem.
Now the only problem with being at a theme park all day is that your phone battery dies. And I really want to film this Yoshi ride, but thanks to Static, I don't have to worry about that. This is Static's Snap and Go charger, and this thing is tiny. You can take it absolutely anywhere with you, even for this massive bird that looks like he's about to eat me. This charger comes with 3 different heads, a lightning one, a USB-C, and a micro USB for all of those slightly older devices. Older like the spaceship there. If you know what that is, you're an OG fan. I'm so lucky to be here, honestly. Wow. It's Baby Mario and Yoshi! And with this magnetic port, you can keep the end of this charger in your phone all day, meaning that when it needs a little bit more charge, you can pull out the device and just snap it straight to your phone. Thank you, Snaptip, for sponsoring this video, because I would be missing whatever that guy is right there. And I really don't want to miss that. If you want to get yourself a Snap and Go charger, make sure you use Rant tag 20 for 20% off at checkout. Why is that thing about to eat me? His voice is so good. This is awesome. This is like, I can't believe this is real. Wow.
Now, although I did have to wait a long time to get on this ride, it was nowhere near 2 hours. I don't think this ride was too slow or too boring at all, so I think this review is false.
The next ride we're going to go on is Minecart Madness.
Jack said we stood in a line for 2 hours just for the ride to be less than a minute long. Not worth it. So after waiting in quite a long queue, I was ready to see if the ride was going to be worth it. And as I got on, they told me to stop filming. I wasn't allowed to film the ride. But thanks to extremerollercoaster.net, I was able to find some footage of the ride online and put my actual microphone audio from me riding the ride over the top of it. So yeah, here you go. Please don't judge my screaming. I scream a lot. I can't help it.
Oh, what are we going to do? Oh, we're going to get wet. No. That was amazing. That was incredible. I actually love that ride so much.
Even though the ride is short, it is incredibly fun. So I think this review is false. And with the only other 2 rides out of the way, it was finally time to ride the Mario Kart ride. I was incredibly excited. It's literally Mario Kart in real life. We have to ride this thing. But
this is the ride I'm most excited for, and there is a brief delay. We're gonna have to find something else to do in the meantime because, I mean, we can't ride it. It's literally closed, and if it doesn't open, I will have come all this way for nothing. Let's go see if there's something else we can do.
So I needed to find some other activities that I could do in the park, which leads us on to the third thing we're gonna be rating this park on, things to do. Jenny said, in order to do anything in this park, you need to spend over $40 on a superband, otherwise you literally can't do anything. These power-up bands let you interact with loads of different blocks and mini games around the park. But behind me, I found something that you didn't need a superband for. So I thought, I'm not gonna need one. I actually found a game that I was quite good at.
I did a thing! Yeah! What does this mean? I have no idea.
But then
it's a me. Oh, yo, it just made a noise.
But every time I tried to hit it, you got this noise.
Yeah, you get a big fat no.
And to make me want to superband even more, when I headed over to this Bowser Jr. castle that was behind me to see what was there, the guy on the door told me I wasn't allowed to come in. He told me that in order to get into Bowser Jr.'s castle, I needed to collect 3 keys around the park by doing mini games using a power-up band. So I completely gave in.
Oh, this is crazy cool. I'm going to spend so much money. I'm going to spend so much money. How much are the power-up bands?
The power-up bands, they're $45.
That's not as bad as I was expecting. River Luigi one. Thank you so much. Oh, look at that. So what are you doing? Oh, no, I've done that wrong.
With the power band, kind of on my wrist, I wanted to see if I could finally interact with these blocks. And then I got a little bit carried away using it and ran to literally every single place that would let me use it.
We're going to win here. We're going to win big here. Here we go. Bam. Bam. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. We failed, but we got some coins, I guess.
So after testing that the superband worked, it was time to get these keys. So I went to the first mini game and thought, how hard could this be? All I had to do was spin this wheel and make this Goomba fall over. The next challenge involved hitting a bunch of different clocks when they turned on to turn them off again. And I wasn't sure I could do this one on my own.
Just the one. Is it possible with one person?
I mean, do you want to solo it or do you need help?
I probably need help. Okay. Oh my, this is crazy.
I was so invested in winning this game, I didn't even realize my finger was over the camera lens. Yeah, I'm a professional.
That one. Oh, thank you for your help there. Appreciate that. That's the second key. Just got one more left. I'm so out of breath.
So I headed to the final key, and I knew I was gonna get it. I scanned my superband, and yeah, I immediately failed. So I tried it one more time. I used every single one of my 4 brain cells on this literal child's game, and at last,
oh yes! Nice. Does that work? We did it! That means we can go to Bowser's now. That has taken far longer than it should have. Literal 5-year-old kids were doing it quicker than I was.
So with the 3 keys stored on my wristband, I tapped in and headed into Bowser Jr.'s castle, not knowing what I would find inside there. And there he was, with his big paintbrush. I stood in a line for a little bit, but the line was so cool. And I even got to make use of my power band in the line. I mean, it worked for this kid. Why wouldn't it work for me? Oh, it turns out that this is a secret ride, that once you've collected all 3 coins, you're allowed to play. And I have never been on a theme park ride like this. It was so incredibly fun. And I was having the best time. Shooting all those Koopas out the air, waving my arms around. Honestly, this was so fun.
That was actually the most fun thing in the entire park so far. I loved that.
So with all the non-ride activities at the park completed, it was time to rate the park on things to do.
There is so much to do here. Even a mini game where you got to get those 3 keys and then you get to play an exclusive ride. It's pretty crazy. Unfortunately, you have to pay $45 just to do any of this.
So, unfortunately, I do think this 1-star review is actually true. But although you do have to pay $40, there is a lot to do, and the things to do there are incredibly fun. So, I'm going to rate things to do a 4 out of 5. So, after doing literally everything I could possibly do in the park, it was time to finally ride the Mario Kart ride. And with it finally being open, I headed in, and I was incredibly excited. I mean, look at my face. I couldn't get over some of the references in this queue line. To see these Mario Kart trophies in real life was bizarre. So after being instructed to collect my Mario hat, which I wasn't sure what it was, but damn, did I look good with it on. And entering a room with even more Mario Kart references, I had made it to the front of the line and boarded into my cart. Turns out the hat was a magnet to connect these goggles to that lets you see other racers through the goggles. It's like a augmented reality ride. It's very cool. And with that, we were ready to race at last. I have never been on another ride like this. Driving around real tracks while being able to shoot enemies with like augmented reality goggles is insane. This was well worth the wait.
That was great.
And with the final ride done, all that was left to do was to rate the rides. As a lifelong Nintendo fan, every single one of these rides was amazing to me. So of course, rides get a 5 out of 5, meaning that the final score for the park is 14 out of 15, with all but one of the reviews being false, which I think's pretty good going.